Now, I've reviewed all sorts of devices on this channel, whether it be an all-in-one desktop that I just did, a traditional laptop, business laptops, rugged extreme laptops, 2-in-1 detachables, convertibles. I reviewed them, and I have one here sent over by Dell that I've been using for quite a bit, and I gotta tell you, it takes things to another level. It's pretty rugged and pretty extreme. I'm talking about the Dell Latitude 7230 Rugged Extreme tablet that brings things to really the rugged nature to be able to take it into the field and not worry about dropping it, not worrying about the environment, the temperatures, all sorts of environments that it's been tested against to make sure that it is under code. And I gotta tell you, I visited Austin, yes, on my own time and money, to take a look at just how much testing and R&D goes into these products to develop. Now, we're gonna get into that and more in this review. Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and this is the Dell Latitude 7230 Rugged Extreme, coming up.
Now, before we get to the unit itself, I just want to let everyone know, in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by Dell, I'm not being sponsored by Dell. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. Dell is not getting copy approval. That means they're seeing this video for the first time, just like you. Now, this unit is on loan from Dell, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. Now, when it comes to pricing, the Dell Latitude 7230 Rugged Extreme comes in at $2,749. And before you get all over Dell about the price and so forth, just realize one thing about this. The R&D that went into this type of product, this rugged type of product, is pretty amazing. In fact, I flew all the way over to Austin on my own time. Dell didn't pay me or anything like that. And I got a chance to see firsthand with my own eyes just how this stuff is being made, and more importantly, how it's being tested against all sorts of environments, all sorts of substances, and it's pretty damn amazing. So I want to thank Dell for showing me a little peek behind the curtains on how this stuff is tested and how this is become one of the premier rugged extreme type of products on the market. And that's why law enforcement agencies, construction industry, vertical markets, and the like all look to Dell to buy their rugged products. So if you look at the price, don't really judge it just by the amount that you're looking at, because the amount of R&D that went into this is pretty significant. And also, the companies that tend to buy these don't blink at the price. They want to make sure this is the right tool for the job. And with that out of the way, let's find out what you get inside the box. Okay, so we get some documentation on the Latitude 7230 Rugged Extreme tablet. Let's put that to the side. We get your power cord. We've seen a million of those. And then, of course, you get your, let's see, 90-watt power adapter. It's USB Type-C, so 90 watts. Good to see that. Not too bad in terms of the travel size. We'll get a weight and measurement in just a little bit. And there's the unit itself. Wow. So holding it for the first time, I got to tell you, it's a lot nicer than I was expecting. This is a solid build here, rock solid, especially for a rugged tablet. That's exactly what we want to see. The extreme handle here, I love that. So you can carry it with you, of course, whichever way you want to go. That's pretty nice there. So that's pretty good. And you can see it here. So very nice and looking good so far. So with just the unit alone, 3 pounds, 6.6 ounces, or 1.548 kilograms. Okay, so let's get a measurement of the weight here with the keyboard cover and everything on it. You're looking at 2.605 kilograms, or 5 pounds, 11.9 ounces. So a little bit of a big boy here, but it is ruggedized, of course. And total travel weight here with the power charger and the power cord, you're looking at 2.958 kilograms, or 6 pounds, 8.3 ounces. All right, so this is the bottom of the unit here. As you can see, you get the two bays for the two swappable batteries, and there's a little button you press for each of them that gives you the indicator of how much battery you have left. So that's pretty good. Looks like you have a camera there with a shutter door. You have access to the bay here, which I'm sure you can reach the internals. And then on this side, you do get some of the ports here. Okay, let's check out the port selection. On the top is your gigabit RJ45 Ethernet port. On the left are two USB Type-C Thunderbolt 4 ports that are full function. On the bottom are your pogo pins for the keyboard attachment. And on the right is your passive stylus pen, the Noble lock port, two USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 ports, a micro SD card reader, and a 3.5mm microphone headphone combo jack. Now, as far as maintenance is concerned, the back panel is secured by no less than 24 torque screws. No kidding there. But thankfully, the two batteries and the single M.2 SSD slot are more easily accessible. Unfortunately, the RAM is soldered into the motherboard and is only configurable at the time of checkout. And as far as the wireless is concerned, you're looking at Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.2. Both have been working flawlessly. I have no issues with either one. And of course, you can go with the optional mobile broadband, either 4G or 5G. That's great for the person on the road who needs that always-on secure connection. And I really like the fact that you get the brightness and volume controls on the front of the unit, along with 3 user programmable buttons. That's really good.
Hey everybody, it's Andrew. I'm sorry to interrupt this review, but I think it's time we run this thing over with my Tesla. What do you say? And as you can see, it survived, okay, but a little bit of wear and tear to be expected. A very heavy Tesla Model S. And check this out. Looks like the touchscreen is a little bit messed up in terms of the cracks here on the exterior, but guess what? This is still working as far as a touch display. In fact, this is pretty impressive. So that can be easily replaced. That's not a big deal. So pretty good stuff here. Yes, it did crack over there, but again, I had the keyboard on it. Maybe I should have done it without it, but either way, this survived. That's pretty impressive. That's a very heavy Tesla Model S.
And one of the biggest surprises to me was the display. It's really good. We're looking at a 12-inch 1920 by 1200 Full HD Plus display. That means it has a 16:10 aspect ratio. And for those keeping score, that's 189 pixels per inch. It also is a 10-point capacitive multi-touch display. And I got to tell you, it's super bright. We'll get into the brightness in a moment. But it's also pretty sharp, pretty color accurate as well, considering this is not something you're going to use to do color grading or any kind of video editing in, but rather to have it being readable in direct sunlight, in the field, and in all sorts of conditions. And so far, this is a really great display. It's a matte display. You don't get any unnecessary glare and reflection. But the biggest part of this is just how super bright this display gets, especially, like I said, in direct sunlight. It is very readable, as you can see here. So it's a very good display for both not only indoor scenarios, but certainly outdoors, where this is going to be used in the field. And this display was also made not only to use a pen, which is a capacitive pen that's also included, but you also use it with gloves in the field. So it's optimized for that sort of touch. And that's been really good. And I got to tell you, the thought that went into this is pretty extensive. So I give credit to Dell's engineers and their developers into figuring out how that the user is going to be using this product in the open field. Now, of course, this display is really meant to be used in the field, but you could also watch movies on it. You could even play some games on it. The clarity is very good. The overall sharpness of it is excellent. This is a really great panel. My overall takeaway is they did an excellent job with this display.
All right, so this is the camera on the front of the unit, the front-facing webcam here. It's a really good camera, actually, with high resolution. Actually, we're looking at 1440p video here. And it's also an IR camera, so that means you can log in with face recognition with Windows Hello. There's also a shutter switch for more security and privacy. Now, on the back is a really nice camera as well. We'll show you some examples in a moment. But as far as video conferencing with this front-facing camera, I think it's really good. What do you think about the video quality? What do you think about the audio quality? Let me know in that comment section below.
So you're able to take 4K video, as I just mentioned, but what do you think about the video quality? Let me know. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really take a lot of photos or videos with tablets, but I think if you're in the field, you need to do a survey or something. This is going to get the job done. You can see my backyard, my jacuzzi, my pool, and of course, the house. So pretty good in all, I would say. I'm pretty happy with the way things are turning out. Still not complete, but there you go. So let me know what you think about this in the comments section below.
Okay, let's talk about performance, and this is running the Intel Core i5-1240U. We've seen this processor before from Intel. It's not the latest and greatest processor, but you don't really need it for this type of device. And as you can see, both the single and multi-core performance is certainly good enough for what you need to do on this. Certainly Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, all sorts of specialized applications will work with this. So look at the Cinebench R23. It's pretty decent here as far as the multi-core score when you compare it to other rugged tablets in this category, or other rugged products, I should say. So looking really good in that regard, as you can see here. And then when you look at something like the PC Mark X, where it did very similar to the other products, maybe a little less than some of them, but you get the idea that this is certainly capable for what you need to do with this, of course. Now, when it comes to thermal throttling, it got a passing score of 98.6% on the TimeSpy stress test, meaning it detected very little, if any, thermal throttling. And as far as the thermals itself, as far as surface temperatures, never getting above 43, 44 degrees Celsius, remaining relatively cool throughout. So I think they did a great job in terms of the thermals here. Here you can see where you're plugged in, where the heat is dissipating, 55 degrees Celsius. You're really not touching it there. You have the handle on the top. So overall thermals were pretty decent here. I would say that is my takeaway with that. Now, one thing you will notice is some of the fan noise when you're in heavy load, or under heavy load, I should say, reaching as high as 46 decibels. But really, when you're doing everyday tasks, the fan noise was not much of an issue. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are swappable batteries here, and when I did the battery drain test, you can see it did 935 minutes, which was excellent, although the Panasonic Toughbook was really king here. But as far as this one is concerned, really, really respectable numbers here. So endurance is certainly the name of the game, and I love the fact that there are two swappable batteries here. So you'll really, theoretically, will never run out of juice if you buy extra batteries, and I love that versatility. Now, to me, the must-have accessory is the keyboard. It slots into place via the pogo pins and locks into place, so you won't be losing it anytime soon. Now, one thing to note, you can go back all the way with the keyboard attached, but it is a little bit top-heavy, so depending on your angle, it might tip over. I've had that happen a couple of times. But having said that, the keyboard itself is excellent for typing out long documents, emails, and the like. It has good tactility, good feedback, and overall good key travel. And it has a multi-stage backlight, so if you're in a dark environment, you'll be able to get work done without any issues. Now, the touchpad's a little bit on the small side, not too unexpected on this type of device, but it did work well as far as responsiveness when it comes to scrolling and doing all the gestures. Everything seemed to work okay, although I wish it was a little bit bigger. I understand the space constraints on this type of device, but it did work okay when it comes to doing all you need to do with that touchpad. Now, when it comes to the audio, I would say the audio is decent here, although it could use a little bit more volume. There wasn't much bass to it, and I didn't expect it. This is not going to be one of those devices that you're going to want audio fidelity. You're going to be using this in the field. It's loud enough, certainly, in those loud environments, but you're not going to get the quality that you would expect. But it's actually better than I expected. I wasn't having too many expectations going into this, but I would say overall decent speakers, although not the best I've ever heard. Certainly not the worst. And there's no shortage of accessories for the 7230 Rugged Extreme. And as you can see here, there's pretty much a lot of things going on here. Docks, a very strong magnet, all kinds of accessories here for the proper tool for the job. So that's going to be great for those that need those options. Okay, let's bring it all home. What do I think about the Latitude 7230 Rugged Extreme? Great design, great sunlight-ready touch display, works with gloves, included pen. I love the 4G, 5G mobile broadband option. Love that it has the handle for the grab-and-go use. Dual hot swappable batteries, you can't underestimate that. And that gives you the long battery life. And the dual Thunderbolt 4 ports give you a lot of versatility when it comes to connections. The negatives here, middle-of-the-road performance, heavy and bulky, of course. Keyboard not included, which is extra, and the port covers are sometimes difficult to open. But none of those are deal breakers, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in the market for a rugged extreme tablet, the Dell Latitude 7230 just might be your ticket.
So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. And don't forget to check out my website, amdtechreviews.com. Big changes are on the way in that department. Stay tuned. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.